What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today I got a new project in, guys. I got Glen's 55 Chevy 3100. It's already got some nice wheels and tires on it. He's already done a bunch of the interior stuff. Whole new front end on it from UMI. But what we're going to go ahead and do is, one, get rid of this exhaust. He doesn't like the way it comes out of underneath the fender. The truck sits really low. It's just kind of a hazard. And this back half was done pretty poorly, guys. You can literally see it splitting. The notch is splitting. It looks like it was a long bed, and they converted it to a short bed. There's a huge plate here. There's a bunch of just terrible welding. So what we're going to do is go ahead and back half the truck. I'm going to cut it right about here where this old plate is. Get rid of all this stuff in the rear, and we'll start from scratch. He's got all the parts. We got a Scott's Hot Rods 4-link, parallel 4-link. We've got a forward 9-inch rear end. We've got everything. He's got the brakes. He's got the axles. Obviously the wheels for it. So we're going to go ahead and get this cut off. I got to cut some things off before I go ahead and start cutting the whole back half off. Again, we're going to cut the exhaust off at the mufflers. I got to cut some cables, take the bumper off, things like that. Go ahead and remove the drive shaft, get all that kind of stuff done first before I go ahead and cut it right off. But yeah, let's get to it, guys. Real quick, guys, before I get into all the nitty gritty, I just wanted to get a close up and show you guys what I'm talking about. I mean, we got some pretty gnarly stuff back here. Here's the notch. Not even welded on the bottom. You know, just overhang galore. Let me go into the inside. Check that out. Not even welded on the bottom. It's cracking right up in here. Yeah. Let me slide through forward. Check that out, guys. Just some 1/4-inch plate just globbed right up in there. Let me go. Sorry, guys. Just kind of hack jobbed it up, guys. Looked like it was kind of done by a backyard welder, mechanic. I mean, you got U-bolts that are bent. Just all kinds of not good stuff in here, guys. So the best option we got here is back half it. I mean, he wants to go to coilovers anyway, so I'm going to incorporate that iconic design of the rounded over frame rail. So we'll go ahead and make that happen as well. But yeah, guys, got some nice American racing wheels. The bumper's in killer shape. So let me run you guys around to the front. I know you guys have seen these trucks before. You know they're gorgeous. This thing is killer. It's got a cool looking patina on it. It's definitely a work in progress, but he just wants a little street driver. And I mean, it's already rocking UMI. He just put all this stuff on. It's got Willwood brakes up front. It's going to have Willwoods in the rear. So good looking truck, guys. We're going to get this thing rocking and rolling for him. So I'm going to start cutting some of this stuff off, and I will get back to you guys here shortly. right, guys, so now I've got my measurement. It's going to be hard for you guys to see all the way out there, but I've got my measurement here for where I'm going to cut. Basically went 1 inch off the cab mounts, which is the width of my square. So I already got that measurement from front to rear, and I ended up moving the measurement 7/8 of an inch, so I just added 7/8 of an inch to my measurement. Now what I'm going to do is the 2x3 quarter wall that you see over there, I'm going to go ahead and get 2 of those cut down to my measurement. I'll go ahead and mock them up, make sure that they look good. I'm probably going to actually cut these back so they're out of my way. We're not going to be using them. Glen is going to make his own bed mounts and all that, and I can help him with that as well. We'll check length, make sure we're good, and then from there, we'll go ahead and cut the frame off, get rid of this old stuff, and then start going ahead and building back half, guys. So I'm going to show you guys how I cut these tubes. Pretty simple. I just use a miter bandsaw, but if you guys haven't seen it done before, this is a great tool to invest in. This is another one of the sponsors. This is the Bailey. Let me go ahead and turn you guys around. This is the Bailey BS 128M. So it's got a 1/2 inch blade. It's one of the smaller series, but it does everything I need. It's out of my way. It miters to 60 degrees, I believe both directions. And it's got a nice clamp. You can actually give it a little spin, and then it free spins. And then say you want to tighten it, just go ahead, and now look, then you just tighten up all that. Super easy. Blades, very easy to acquire. They're here in town. I use a place called Eccles Saw. You can go ahead and you take this button, this knob off, and then it releases the whole panel that covers the blade. Back here is where you make your blade adjustments for speed. So you can cut real fast, you can cut real slow. And right now, guys, I've got a 5/8 blade on it. So this is meant for thicker material, which is exactly what I'm going to be cutting. And yeah, it's got its on switch. You can push button for off. Here's your ball valve adjustment. You know, super simple, guys. You can adjust your safeties, your runners, to go closer or further apart. I have them kind of in the middle. And yeah, guys, it comes with a handle so you can move it around. It is on wheels, and it's 110 power, guys. Super easy. So let me get you guys set up over here, and I'll go ahead and start cutting. Now, coming into the frame for you guys. Oh, there is our new chassis rails, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this clamp separated, the bang clamp. And then, let me grab my grinder. So guys, this material, real quick while I'm changing out the disc and whatnot, this material is 2x3 by 3/16. This is probably like the middle of the road of what I'd recommend. Obviously, if you wanted to make it perfectly match, you could do 2x4 or 2x5, however thick that, however tall that frame rail is from factory. But I'm gonna completely weld this up, and I'm gonna box it and do a an actual like connector. I'm coming back into camera, guys. I'm gonna do a connector in here, so it'll be extremely strong, and it's not gonna go anywhere. And it's definitely gonna be better than what's shown here, guys. That this stuff looks pretty bad. So let me get a cord set up. Sorry, I wasn't quite prepared for this, you guys. But all right, here we go. So these band clamps are kind of a pain in the butt. I just prefer to cut them off with a grinder, make my life a little bit easier. You can cut them off with tin snips if you want to struggle for a little while. I prefer not to, so. Plus I need the grinder over here anyway, so I needed to set up a cord and all that. So let me go ahead and cut this off, guys, real quick. And bam, just like that. So now that I got them separated, I'll go ahead and push one over to one side, the other one over to the other side. And since this frame rail is so high, it appears that I'm going to have to do them inside of the notch just to verify length. But what we can do to do that is grab my level. Grab my level, put it on the back here, and level it out. This frame rail is cut at an angle, so I can't quite put it front to rear. But what I can do is get it level down here and butt my frame rail up against it. So that side's good right there. Level with the rear. Let's this side is level. Let's go ahead and get butted up. All right, still level. Let's go ahead and check. Oh, guys, that is money. I am perfectly in line with my markings. Let me come over to the camera real quick. Yeah. So this marking right here that I made, guys, is where I'm going to cut the chassis. This is going to butt directly right up against that. So from that line all the way to the back of the chassis, I'm completely flush, which tells me that my frame rails are the correct size. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is cut my piece for the back here. So that way I can tack this piece together, and then from there I'll have pretty much a C shape, but it'll give me plenty of structure so that when I weld this on, I'm not like just dealing with dangling frame rails, guys. So and from here what I can do is I can run my level across, make sure that we're level, which we are spot on back here, spot on up here. So what I can do is I can just go ahead and, you know, from here, obviously I need to get it wider, which actually is going to pose a problem. I'll have to bump one over the frame rail so I can get it over to the side so I can get my width. Because right now if I welded this, took this measurement and welded it together, my chassis would be somewhere around 4 inches too short of where it needs to be. So I'm going to go ahead and put you guys back on time lapse, and I'll go ahead and get that knocked out, and then I'll be back to talk to you guys. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm so dirty. I've been working hard. So basically, what's going down here, guys, is let me get a better view. There you go. These are the notches that I'm going to use. So in the last clip that I just showed you, I was trying to find center of these because I have a measurement based off of what the client used from when he took the bed off, and we want to be from the bottom of the frame rail to the top of the notch. We want 9.5 inches. Right now on that last tube, I put it down and I measured, and we were like 11.5. So I'm going to continue taking cuts off until I get that measurement below the 9.5 inches, because I don't want to put that, I don't want to graft that tube in at the very bottom of the frame rail. I want to cut a section out of it and graft that frame rail in there. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just kind of playing it by ear, cutting that one, taking off little bits at a time. This one is next, but let me give you an idea of what you're looking at here. I'm going to go ahead and stop the video here, and I'll flip it around, and then I'll talk to you guys a little more so I can show you guys kind of pointing this and that. All right, guys, so I'm back now. So basically what you can get an idea of is these are where the notches are going to go, but from this measurement to this measurement, we're just a little bit too high. So I need to get these down, obviously, so that way I can get them marked on the frame rail, and then I can start doing my cuts. But they're pretty much going to go like that. They're going to obviously get grafted in with the 2x3 tube. So that's what's going on over there on the saw. I have one last piece from where that line is right there to that line. I need to get a 2x3 tube put in there, and then that's going to complete the structure for now. Once I have this welded on, I'll go ahead and add a little bit more structure. There'll be one more tube back here, and then this will get welded to the factory chassis, and then I'll, like I did a little drawing over here. Basically, I'll make a little box out like that for what meets with the existing factory frame rail. So that way it doesn't just look kind of halfway pieced together. I want this to look good for the client, and I think that's the way I go about doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna get back to cutting, guys. I'll do a little bit of time lapse here and there. This is kind of the boring and dull stuff, so I'm not sure that you guys really want to hang around for all this, but here is my tube already marked out, ready to get cut. And yeah, Jimbo's over here working on the OBS. We're just about wrapped up. Check this thing out, dude. It's coming along so sick. Tubs are painted. Everything's rewired. Check that out. You ever seen that done before? Slick. We got our Chase Bays wiper tank. We got our coolant overflow bottle. Let's see what else. We obviously had to move the master, the prop valve to the other side. So we're getting that done. We got the catch can moved. We got the junction block moved, rewired a lot of stuff, had to extend some wiring. Shout out to the boys at PSI for making such a great harness. Super easy to adapt to. And yeah, I think all that's left is running our hood latch cable, and then we need to cut the intake down because we want to continue to run that big cone. So that'll be getting cut down so we have some space in there. And then check this bad boy out. I made this yesterday. This is the battery tray, and this is going to go way down in there, guys. It's going to be mounted to the frame rails. And then, so the kind of a tough situation because a lot of people move the battery to the back. We didn't want to do that. So in order to get the battery out when it comes time to change, you're going to have to pull all the bolts out of the tray and pull the whole tray down as one. But I think that's our best case option that we had. I didn't see a whole lot of different things that people were able to do for this, so just trying to be unique and be a little creative with it, and I think that hit it right on the spot, guys. So stay tuned. I'll do a little I'm gonna do some driving videos with this. I gotta do a little bit of rundown, shakedown on it once we're done here tomorrow. But other than that, man, she's just about good. Waiting on the LS Fab hood struts so I can go ahead and get those put in here, because we no longer have space really for the factory struts that go in there, or the factory hood hinges. So stay tuned, guys. I'll be back once I get a lot more cutting done. We'll get this bad boy cut off. But as of now, I think that's going to wrap on part one of this build, guys. So make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow. Stay tuned for more. I got plenty of stuff to do on this thing, and it's going to be killer. So you're definitely not going to want to miss it.